Hey explorers! Here at the Exploration Station we've had a lot of fun playing with freezing point depression, and today we're going to use that to make hot ice. Hot ice is a supercooled solution of sodium acetate. This means that it's sodium acetate, which is normally a crystal, but it's in liquid form and below its normal freezing point. When you touch, bump, or add a seed crystal to your solution, crystallization will begin and the liquid will turn into a solid, forming a crystal. The crystallization process is an exothermic reaction. This means it's a chemical reaction where the substances reacting release energy as heat, which is where we get our hot ice. I know I'm super excited to see this chemical reaction in process, so let's gather our materials. For this experiment, you'll need vinegar, baking soda, measuring utensils, a pot, a stove, skewers, and a heat-proof dish. Plus, you're gonna need a lot of time and patience for this one. To make our hot ice, let's head into the kitchen so we can make our sodium acetate solution and seed crystals. We're making a large batch so we can experiment a lot. We'll be doubling the ingredients from the recipe in the video description. Step 1 is to put your vinegar into your pot. Next, we'll need to slowly add our baking soda. You might recall that these two ingredients create a chemical reaction. Ooh, oh, that looks great. But we want as little of the reaction as possible here. What is left behind after the gas evaporates are the molecules of diluted acetic acid from the vinegar and sodium carbonate from our baking soda. These form our sodium acetate. When we're heating it, we're making a more concentrated solution. In order to keep your pot from foaming and trying to explode, add your baking soda a tablespoon at a time. It will react a little, so let that fizzle out before you add another. Then, stir until everything is dissolved together and clear. Once all of your baking soda is added to your vinegar, it's time to put it on the stove. Over low heat, leave your pot to boil. If the heat is too high, your solution will discolor and turn yellowish-brown, so keep it low. If it turns yellow, this will still work, but it does look cooler if it's clear. You'll need to boil this for about an hour, reducing the solution down and taking out some of the water. After an hour, you should have about 3/4 cup of water left in your pot. If there is more, you'll need to keep letting it boil because we don't want too much water in our sodium acetate solution. A great way to know that you're reaching the right concentration is that you will see white crystals start forming on the liquid. Next, we need to pour the liquid sodium acetate into a heat-proof dish. Now, cover those dishes to prevent further evaporation. Aluminum foil works well. And put them in the fridge to cool down. It can take up to a couple hours before the solution is cooled enough, but in the meantime, we can gather our seed crystals. The crystals that formed on the bottom of the pan are sodium acetate crystals, and when introduced to the solution after it's cooled down, catalyze the reaction and cause the liquid to freeze. Scrape the crystals off the pan and save for later. These are your seed crystals. We're back from the kitchen, our sodium acetate solution and our seed crystals are ready, so now we can continue with our experiment. I cannot stress enough how careful you need to be removing the liquid from the fridge because it is so sensitive. The tiniest little bump or even the right fleck of dust hitting it at the right velocity can start that catalyzation, and so you want to make sure your aluminum foil stays on until you're ready to watch it happen. First thing we're gonna do is I've got a seed crystal on a skewer and I'm gonna dip it into my sodium acetate solution. So let's pull that off and right away. Makes this cool snowball. Very cool, look at that. You can feel the heat coming off of it because of the exothermic reaction, and that is just solid crystal now. Every time I see it, that is one of the coolest reactions. Next up, have you ever seen a tower of ice form right before your very eyes? I know it's gonna seem like magic, but it's really just science. We've got this cool glass plate here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a couple of our seed crystals, put them right in the middle, and we've got a graduated cylinder with 100 milliliters of sodium acetate solution that we're going to very slowly pour over our crystals. And just like we saw in our beaker, as soon as the liquid hits it, it's going to start building layer upon layer of that tower. We just need to pour it very carefully. Again, we'll never stress it enough. Any bump or anything to this liquid and it just starts turning solid. So let's give it a shot. Let's take our aluminum foil off and very slowly start pouring it onto our crystals. Oh, that is cool. Just builds that tower up as you go. Let's pour nice and slow. See how tall we can get it. Oh, there is some neat stuff happening here. That is so cool. Look at this. Look at it. It's just like this cool 3D sculpture art thing made out of crystals. Oh, that is neat. A little bit of heat radiating off of it from that reaction. Oh, that is so neat. It's still hot, firm and solid, but is quite fragile at the same time. Oh, that is just so cool. Oh, yeah, whoop. It's a little bit crumbly. Not the most solid thing, but you can see some crystals on the inside. That is fantastic. The best part is that if you want to do this experiment again, you can take your crystals, throw them in a glass heat-proof dish, put them on a stove in a pot of water over a very low heat, and just let it sit until it melts back down into a liquid. At that point, you put it back in the fridge to cool down and you can redo your experiment. And the good news is that we got lots of seed crystals out of our first batch, so we don't need to worry about those. I'm gonna go melt this down so I can do this experiment again. For more fun in the lab, subscribe to Clayton's Exploration Station on YouTube and social media. Plus, if you'd like the worksheet for this experiment or our others, you can visit us at explorationstation.net. Now you stay curious, explorers.
Clayton's Exploration Station.